Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the English news from Djibouti channel. Here are the top stories of our editions. Return to school under the sign of Transformation School. And on continental news, commemorations of September 11, 2001 attacks, Trump in Pennsylvania. Welcome if you join us in Djibouti channels. And now let's get to the details. At the advent of the Muslim year, the President of the Republic, Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, expressed his best wishes for health, happiness and fulfillment to his all compatriots. He expressed the hope that the nascent Muslims year is a source of greater tranquility and serenity of each of our home in their legitimate pursuit to support their children with dignity and self-sufficiency. He also used this New Year's Muslim wish to the nation to ensure that everything will be done on the best level of state and government to redouble efforts, peace of work and creativity in order to create integration of most modest layers of our society into economic and financial circuit of our country. As usual, on the occasions of the advent of Islam New Year, message of greeting from head of state and government of country, brothers and Muslims friends, on wishing all health and happiness the President of the Republic, Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, and more development and prosperity to the people of Djibouti continue to flow to the Presidency of the Republic. May God Almighty assist the sister nations of Djibouti in its effort to achieve sustainable development, wrote some of the Muslim leaders who sent great things to President Guelleh. May God strengthen Djibouti further in his constant prosperities for solidarity and cohesion, which are important attributes in the religions and culture of Islam, which is other Muslim leaders who have sent messages of best wishes to the chief of the Djiboutian state on the occasion of Muslim New Year. It should be noted that the President of the Republic, Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, also had on his side at the approach of the Muslim New Year sent a respective message of best wishes to his counterparts in the Muslim world. To all these leaders and their respective people, President Guelleh had formed the hope of greater well-being, economic and social progress and fulfillment. The transformation of the school thus began by this basis of equity transformation, coinciding with the most important financing of an amount of $26 million obtained by the MENFOP through its achievement and the relevance of its road may have gained the confidence of technical and financial partners that we think, and a particular school retention also with inshallah the first promotions of school of excellence initiated since the last year that will be represented at the 2080 sessions of the PF after only 1 year of school, but with a program of 6 years and 7 years. Those therefore are enough to play a major and primordial role as the teacher who are the working angles of the MENFOP, the head of establishment and educational body, whose action will be decisive. With a guard team aspire and intelligent collaboration that does not leave place tensions or personal ambitions. I am persuaded, said the Minister of Education and Vocational Work, Mr. Mustafa, that this year will be the ambitious year and persuade that we can make miracles. The Minister of Education has wished to return to school under the best auspices to the students and their parents. Community this new year, he said, is special and emblematic because under the sign of transformations of the Djiboutian school that the President of the Republic wanted fair, inclusive, high performance and quality. The school does not distance between there who have money and those not have, and offer of the chances of successes and social complement to all our students, our children, and school, leading to the socio-economic development of our country. This sought after equity and the transformation in the school uniform decree this summer, because it was strongly solicited during the general meeting of 1999 and the national consultations of December 2016 in the sample and incarnations, and the uniform, reducing visible difference between students, reinforce their cohesions since its assembly them unites around a sense of belonging to an educational community. On the other hand, the school uniform induces a whole changes in the behavior of the people surrounding the child and the students, because it requires particular attention to cleanliness and wearing. This interest in the child is therefore to his benefit and in favor of his well-being and his personal fulfillment. The President of Education declared that all staff of MINFOB will be sent by the end of September specific missions, later taking into account the realities of the ground that will translate into roadmaps and various strategies on the basis of which stocks and performance will be valued. Corrective actions and necessary adjustment and appropriate strategies to achieve our targets. And since the consultations undertaken as part of the series of meetings scheduled since August to 26 with the various team in my department, say the minister. Finally, and before closing my remarks, I would like to say to the parents and students and all staff, that the local residents and everyone, that the school is a common good which belongs to us all. Tomorrow the students will start their first day of school after the holidays, and that will be marked by the wearing of the blue and black uniform in school across the country. The various outlets were stormed by the parents of school uniform purchases. The inflow was sometimes massive, and police were stationed in front of the point of sale in order to regulate the flow of customers. The purchase of the uniform has become massive from the announcement of the uniform price from 3,050 to 2,000 per dress. In this occasion, the head of state also granted the uniform free for rural further regions students, that the Djiboutian have welcomed very favorable father and mother of all social categories and ages, holding the hand of their child faith in the enclosure of the point of sale, so that each of their child can have the good size, the color, and the price being the same for all of our children benefit of the uniform. The wearing of the uniform was discussed for the first time during the Estates General of 1999 and become effective of wearing the uniform decree for a certain time was finally welcomed by the populations, and that is marked by a break of different social classes, by equality even in school chances. That is the very foundations of our educational system. And now let's move to the Continental News commemoration ceremonies. Remember the victims of September 11, 2001 terrorist attack in US. For more details, let's follow the report of Hinda.
A moment of silence today, calling of bells on the solemn reading of victims' names. The nation paused Thursday to mark the 13th anniversary of the September 11, 2001 terror attack The birthday anniversary ceremony is being held at the National September 11 Memorial and Museum Plaza on Tuesday morning. The tribute has centered on reading the names of nearly 3,000 people killed in New York at the Battengo and nearly Shanksville, as well as recognizing the 6 people killed in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. For the first time, the National September 11 Memorial Museum in Lower Manhattan, which includes gut-wrenching artifact and graphic photo of the attack, will be open on the anniversary. Fences around the Memorial Plaza have come down, integrating the closet side more fully with the street of Manhattan, while completely opening it up to the public and camera while the tourists. Above a near completed one World Trade Center has risen 1,776 feet above ground zero, expected to be filled with office workers by this date in 2015.
UN warns of worst humanitarian crisis in the century as thousands flee Syria's Idlib.
Violence in northwest Syria has displaced more than 13,000 people. This month alone, the United Nations said Monday, warning that alarming assault could create the century's worst humanitarian catastrophe. Idlib province and adjacent rural areas from the largest period of terror still held by Syria's belligerent rebel, worn down by a section of government victory in recent months. President Bashar al-Assad has now set his sight on Idlib, and his forces have stepped up bombardment of the densely populated province since the beginning of the month. That has completed an estimated 13,452 people to be displaced within Idlib and parts of adjacent Hama province between September 1 and 9. The UN Humanitarian Coordinated Agency, OCHA, said Monday.
Here we finish the news. Thank you for watching us. Have a good night.